Hi, I'm Brian, and Andy asked me to say a couple of minutes on my experiences in lockdown, so I thought I'd say a few things. Um, I suppose what we find difficult, or what I find difficult, is Raquel works, I mean, her wife works as a nurse in MRI, and she's continued to go in, and she doesn't work on a ward where the patients would typically have coronavirus. However, you never know who's got it at the minute, and also it's just being in an environment with lots of people all the time. I suppose she's at higher risk. And little James also goes to the nursery at MRI, and so he will be in contact with other kids whose parents probably treat patients with coronavirus. So that's been in the back of my mind quite a bit. Just hope and pray that everything is okay. Other things that have been difficult are not seeing family. I would generally go to Ireland once or twice a year, and I haven't been over this year since January. So that's been a bit tricky. I mean, obviously we've had phone calls and the like and video calls, which have been brilliant, but still. Other things I found work quite stressful at times as well. At the start it wasn't too bad, but some of the projects got a wee bit stressy, and I suppose people are working later now, and sort of hard to get a discipline. I mean, Rebecca talked a bit about this last week, but I find that quite difficult too. And my boss described it as a bit like at the start of lockdown, it felt like he was working from home, but then as time went on, it felt like he was living in the office, and I think I can see where he was coming from with that. But I've tried to get out, do runs and cold showers and things just to keep me fresh and lift my mood a bit at times. Things that have been nice. Little James learned to walk around Easter time, so it was good to see that. And I think ordinarily I would have been probably travelling from the office back to home and stuff, and probably missed those couple of hours in the evenings which I've now got to see and spend time with them. And we've had more family time as our own little family as well, which has been good. And there has been some nice spirit, sort of some goodwill. You notice with some people. I mean, the neighbour across the way is in her 90s, and someone has been delivering food to her and the like at the start of lockdown when sort of the staples were in short supply, and things like that I thought was really nice. And I've heard of other people in apartment blocks where for years they didn't know their neighbours, but whenever this started, numbers were exchanged and there was a bit of goodwill, and that's all very nice. And it's important to sort of focus, I suppose, on those sorts of things. I also find sometimes with work, we're doing more sort of one-on-one calls and not in an open plan office, and it probably plays to my strengths a bit more. I'm probably better talking to people one-on-one, so I think that's probably been an upside for me. In terms of things I've learnt, I think we've discovered the local area a bit more because we haven't been travelling. We've been sort of getting out and about into parks nearby and enjoyed all of that, and you sort of realise you don't need to go too far to enjoy yourselves. My hopes for the future is that some of the lessons that we've been learnt through lockdown will be maintained, and some of that goodwill and so on that I was chatting about. But also, I mean, I hope to soon be able to see family and friends a bit more normally. Thanks a lot.